Hi guys, so this video here is taken from a full course on building a track from scratch in Logic. You'll be able to watch all of the Logic related videos for the course on YouTube. There will be a link to the playlist below for you. But in this course, we're basically building this whole track from scratch. If you want to follow along with that, you can. And if you want to download the project file and all the samples that go with the course, there's a link to that in the description as well. I hope this video is useful to you and that you're able to follow along with the course. Let's jump into it.
Feeling heavy, but now I'm steady, going up from hitting the ground.
All right, so I've just done the new match EQ and we can see we're closer. It's kind of a flatter response overall now. Some of these are really specific parts of the mix. Quite a bit around here that can maybe go away, and a bit on the bass side again, but that's fine. What we definitely need to adjust a little bit is sort of the subs and in the release. So on the actual bass channel itself at this point, I would actually just be looking to reduce the lower harmonics down. So what we'll do is we'll take the bass channel. Just look at this guy here. We're going to get the slope roughly on this lower end. Before we start to get to the kick, going to be around the 100. Quite a steep slope. And just dip it down by about 3 dB. I usually work in increments of 3 dB because that's logarithmically a good system to work in terms of loudness. And we'll just shave off the absolute lows as well. Looking at this, it's ending around 30. We'll take this up to 27. Won't be anything there that we need. That should help us round that off just a little bit more. We've just taken out the subs. Now we could go into the Alchemy patch and the ES2 patch and do them that way, but in this case we're just going to work on the bus and just use the EQ for that purpose there. Now the other thing, we've lifted up a bit of the piano in a nice place. We've lifted up vocals in a nice place for them. We've lifted up the drums in a nice place for them. What I think we could make use of as well is the bed of strings. Now it's quite quiet sitting in the background, but I think we can really lift up the high end of it and have it shine through quite a bit more. At the moment, it's taking out lots here. What we could do is actually roll it off a bit more here and try and bring some back in that way. So let's highlight the busy section. Let's put a bit of reverb back on that vocal. Going to use the automation just to bring some reverb back into that vocal as well. I think it's losing a bit of its space. We'll use the automation lane here, just have it somewhere around here. Now we've lifted up all of the vocals. I'm kind of against what we did with the tube EQ. I'm going to leave those disabled for now.
Is this something you could show? So tell me.
I'm going to really increase the release on the vocal. the strings. You have that high end back.
So tell me,
We're going to keep the 2K taken away.
I need to know the worry. Is this something you could show?
We give these three here just 1 dB of gain change. So everything's at -3 at the minute. Just going to change it to -2 just to help them lift up a little bit more without compressing everything else.
So tell me, I need to know the worry. Is this something you could show? Is this something you could show? I need to know.
That is sounding pretty good. Let's try it with the match EQ off again.
So tell me, I need to know the worry. Is this something you
Yeah, I don't like the tube EQ anymore. We're just going to leave them there, just disable them for the time being.
could show? So tell me, I need to know.
Overall in the mix, I'm going to bring up the Bluebird kit. We've got -1.4. I'm going to just bring it all the way up to 0. You know, it's purely high-end content, and it's going to help lift everything up a little bit more. It's too much. Okay, so in this section where the shaker comes through, it's just too much. But in the other sections, it's quite nice. So we need to control just that high end on here. So the way, or a way that we can do that is with the multipressor. So if we go into dynamics, we're going to grab the multipressor here. It's basically 4 compressors. We're going to find where that shaker is and just tell it to control just that area. I could go into each individual bit and do it with the different velocities, but we're going to control this with mixing. So let's solo the kit out. We can solo the bands out in here as well. It's mainly going to be here, right? So we're going to bring the threshold down like we would for anything else. We've got a ratio here. And we want to hear that shaker get caught, right? Like that. Let's go to about 3.2 on the ratio. All right, 3.6. It's now really controlling that shaker, but it also catches the crash quite a lot. Let's see. Crash still comes through pretty nicely otherwise. And that's just controlling that a bit more for us. Now we could bring the overall level back up and compress it even harder. Add a little bit of gain back. Alright, nice. Let's try the auto again. Way, not at all. That's nicely controlled now. Match EQ now is brightening up too much, so we no longer really need that. We're getting really close to what we want to be at. Don't need our channel EQ anymore. Quick mono test.
Is this something you could show?
Okay, so one of the last things we're going to do here is just have a full listen through our track. Make sure we don't hear anything that's glaring and out the way. Just going to go all the way to the end here and just wrap this up to the end. And, let's just play through, and I'm going to be listening for anything I think might need adjusting mix-wise, but I think we're going to be pretty much there. And then we'll look at formatting it out, arrangement, and then potentially mastering as well.
Can you tell me what we are? I can't get too far. All you left me were scars. Can you tell me what we are? Oh, no, but I can't see you.
Happy days. All in all, I am pretty damn happy with that. We're sounding good. What we need to look at what we'd really look at now is I'm going to show you how to make up a nice arrangement section, and that track runs at 4 minutes 30 seconds. If we wanted to make that a radio edit, we've got to cut a solid minute out of that. So I'll also show you how in the same session I'll make my radio edits and move things around, and then we'll look at getting a finished like tune ready to be sent out and played out and essentially mastered.